I have to vent. So here I am. So there's been a whole bunch of things that have went on since my therapy appointment on Tuesday. Like, everything always happens after I can't talk to my therapist. Oh, the sun is bright. Everything. So, okay, where do I start? I'll start from the beginning. Wednesday, I was over at my mom's house because I wanted to wash my clothes, and my apartment's washer and dryer, laundry room or whatever, they're closed because of the coronavirus and all that, the COVID-19 stuff. So I went over to my mom's house to wash, and I just like visiting her, so I just went over there or whatever. And a person from my past, I have to make sure I leave out names, a person of my past who I haven't spoke to since last year, came over. First of all, children of God, when somebody from your past tries to get a hold of you, they always going to look for you the last place they find you. That's number one. Number two, the people from your past ain't coming to you for a reason. There's something they sense about you that they want to now be around. Because if you weren't good for them then, you shouldn't be good for them now. So there's something about you that they sense that they want to come and either distract you from or put a spirit on you because of. That's two. So anyways, she comes, and I totally wasn't expecting it because, again, this is someone I haven't spoken to since last year. And I was the one who reached out. When I did reach out, it was like she didn't want to be bothered. But three, when somebody's life ain't going the way they think, when a person of your past life isn't going the way they think, there you go, an option again. You're their option. People will constantly tell you how much you mean to them by their actions. And that's why this situation is really messing me up, because it's like, how do I know? And they may not even be a bad person. That's what's messing me up about this thing. She's not even a bad person, but why are you now coming around me? Why are you now coming around me now that I have my mind made up? After I talked to God and after I prayed to God that I want to walk in all of my purpose, why is it now you come around? But when I was a down and out, you couldn't be bothered. When I just needed somebody to talk to, you couldn't be bothered. All the slide comments when I was down and out, when I just needed a friend. Why now, when I have my mind made up, people of my past start to show up? Why now, when I have my mind made up that I just want this time and this season in my life to be all about God, no distractions, no nothing, when I say I'm going to put away the distractions, when I say that I'm going to set goals for myself, why is it then, now, the people of my past start to show up? Why is it when I was not focused on my goals, when I wasn't, worried about when am I going to have, a best friend, or when I was worried about when my husband was going to come, why ain't nobody show up then? Why now all of a sudden people want to show up when I don't want them around or need them anymore? Why is that? Why is it when I decide that I want to do better, when I want to change my attitude, when I want to be a little less hot-headed, when I want to be of a kind and gentle spirit, that everybody and their mama want to come with an attitude, be disrespectful. It's because God is trying to show you something. You know, through these last couple of days, God, you have showed me that I have changed. Because with this person of my past coming back, I wondered, have I really changed any? Like what's going on? Like, do I still want this friendship? Do I not want this friendship? Like, what's wrong with me? Listen, when people start to come around and you start to question yourself, just know that's an attack of the enemy. The enemy wants to attack your identity because he doesn't want you to become all that you are. You got to ask yourself, why are these people coming around now that you have your mind made up? When you needed a friend, why weren't they around then? Why all of a sudden they miss you? Why all of a sudden they want to hang out? Why all of a sudden? But when you didn't have your mind made up and you were tossing back and forth, where were they then? Where were they then? And that's things I've been asking myself. Like, do I want to give this another go? Where was y'all when I needed y'all the most, man? Now y'all want to show back up? I don't care to have a, you know what I'm saying? I know I need a good friend in my life, but I don't care to have it because of what? It's just a distraction. Today at work, and this is part of the reason why I have to vent, because I didn't even realize how much I changed until I reflected on it on the drive home, because it had me so upset that my adrenaline was rushing. I was like, why am I feeling like this? It's like I almost felt like I failed the test, but I know for a fact I didn't fail a test, because when I reflected back on it, I actually handled the situation like I was supposed to. But see, that guy, that evil person, the devil, the enemy, your adversary, he'll make it seem like, why you overreact? Nah, bruh. So anyway, at work, I work at my local hospital, and there's a situation, and it happened earlier too. There's two situations where people were just downright ugly. This girl saying, are you capable of doing your job? When we are talking to you on the radio, we expect for dispatch to answer. Just being really disrespectful and just really, you know, being very mean-spirited for no reason. And so, you know, at first, when the conversation first started, I started to apologize for any of her inconvenience, because that's the professional thing to do. I'm not going to keep arguing with you, because sometimes people just love to hear, you know, an apology, and then they keep it moving. And that's, you know, so I started off with that. I'll get to my next point in a minute. So I started off, I was like, I'm sorry about the inconvenience. You know, I was in the middle of a medical emergency. And so, you know, I had to choose what took precedence. Then she kept going on, you know, talking condescending, you know, trying to say that I am incapable, questioning my ability to do my job. Going into the lines of being disrespectful. So then I had to say, okay, well, my radio was up. It's on the right channel. I didn't hear anything to respond to for 10 minutes. Because she just, you know, just being real, a real Karen. Being real ugly and sly and rude. And, you know what I'm saying? I get it, people going through stuff. But If I'm expecting, when I walk through the door, to leave my problems at the gate, I expect everybody to do it. I don't care what you're going through. Everybody is going through their own little story, their own little problem. Get over it when you're at work. Sorry. If you are incapable of leaving your problems out the door while you get your money on the clock, then I don't know what to tell you. That's a you problem. That has no, and I know I go into not feeling sorry for you. When you put your problems on other people, I no longer care. Sorry, not sorry. So she doubles down on calling me incompetent of doing my job. And so I said, I can't babysit you. If I'm in the middle of a medical emergency, I have to take what, a person's life, or you telling me that you just need something silly like a wheelchair roundup. Like, who cares? So I told her, I can't babysit you. I'm in the middle of a medical emergency. Not being disrespectful, not being rude. A third time, she just doubles down. We don't need you to be calling you for 10 minutes. Okay. And that's the third time you've been disrespectful. Now let me get my lead over here before I have to put my words on you. And then you're not going to like me. And then I'll give you a real reason to get your manager involved. You trying to get your manager involved because your day is going bad. But let me get this lead involved, because now if I have to put my words on you, and if I have to hurt your feelings because you want to be disrespectful and you caught me on the right day, then I would be in the wrong. Now you'll really have a reason to go get your manager. So I said to her, I was like, I was just letting her talk from that. I was like, Essence, could you go over here and can you get on the phone and explain to her, that I was in the middle of a medical emergency. I didn't have time to answer the radio. She's not understanding that. In that moment, I could have went from the rooter to the tutor of telling her about herself. But why? She's already walking in the spirit of offense anyway. Why give her any leeway to be even more disrespectful? She's not even worth it. You don't even work for the company I work for. You ain't even worth me putting my words on you and cursing my blessings. You're not even worth that. Let's get that clear. You couldn't do the job that I do like I do it with tons of grace. You couldn't. So why put a person who I know couldn't handle what I handle? Why give them any relevancy? You're irrelevant, especially to me. So I transfer over to the lead. You're not worth me arguing with. That's how relevant you are. I don't even know your name. You're known by a number. That's how relevant you are. To think you're going to be disrespectful, you're not going to do it. That was the second person who told me I was incompetent of doing my job. Just because, and I get it, we're working at a hospital, but I mean, dang, we all working at a hospital. You think I'm going to feel sorry for you? No, you get no sympathy. Sorry, not sorry. So in that moment, when I was riding home, out of that moment, I typed up a shift report. I put our entire conversation. She said she was going to go to management on me. Whatever happens out of that is going to happen. Whatever. But I typed it in my shift report and I sent it out. Whatever. Your management is going to know everything that happens from both of us, because I'm going to say my side. You say your side how you want. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. I can't be mad at that. But when I got home, my adrenaline's rushing, because though I didn't put my words on her like I wanted to, after I just vented all my frustration to my lead, because she asked me what happened. And then all the emotions that I could have had for that number went to my lead. And then afterwards, I had to apologize. I was like, I was like, hey, I hope you know none of that was veered towards you, but it was the fact that not only did she question my job, she was being condescending in her tone and patronizing. Don't patronize me. I know when I tell you I understand the first time, leave it alone. Period. I don't have time for that. Don't talk to me like, no, I'm no child. Because I could run circles on you every day of the week and twice on a Sunday if I wanted to. Let's not go there. Let's not do that. Not once did I be disrespectful, so not once are you going to be disrespectful. So all the frustrations that I had for her, it went to my lead, and I had to apologize, and my lead said, she understood, because I am when I talk, I have a lot of passion in my voice too, and people know that about me too. So when I talk on something that I'm passionate about, I put all my emotions in it because that's just how I am. I don't know. That's how God made me. So when I was driving home, the devil up in my ear, you didn't handle that well. I didn't handle that well. But I never cursed the girl. I never said anything mean to the girl. I never came out my tone or be disrespectful like she was being disrespectful. So, maybe I need to stay behind this car. Whatever. So I was never disrespectful to her. So I did what I had to do to cover my behind on my end, and then I logged out. I almost stayed 30 minutes after my time. I don't care. That's overtime. I don't care. But when I was riding home, the devil was trying to make it seem like I didn't handle things properly. I popped off at the girl, and I never did that. So when I was looking back on it, God spoke to me in that moment, and he says, you are already not the same you. You are already the woman that you are desiring to be, because the old Taylor would have done this. The new you didn't do that. The new you, when hearing the situation going left, I immediately got my management involved. Immediately. Didn't waste a second. When she kept going on and kept doubling down on what I didn't do and questioning my competency, that was the devil's child coming for me. She wanted to mess my day up because her day was messed up. She wanted me to take me back to the element where the devil was all over me and the devil loved me. When you have your mind made up, the devil's going to try to bring you back and give you the taste of the old you. When you have your mind made up that you are going to walk in God's purpose, the devil is going to send distractions. Now, how would that have made my day go if when I got home, I slept in that anger instead of talking it out? Because that's what I went home to do. I don't never go home that quick, but the devil made sure he wanted me to get me home quick that day because he wanted me to go to sleep on that anger. That goes directly against God's word. Don't go to sleep angry. That's what's going to happen. When you have your mind made up, people going to show up who you never expected. And you going to be like, what? Why now? When you have goals to look forward to, don't be surprised when people start showing up. And don't question your intuition, which is also called your Holy Spirit. Don't question that. If something ain't feeling right on that, that's God telling you, hey, watch out. That's God's way of warning you. Man, watch out. This one may not mean you no good. Don't go too deep. Because I swear with the old friend of mine, something wasn't sitting right with me, to the fact, well, not to the fact, what am I saying? To the point where I felt bad, you know, for not feeling right. That was the devil trying to make me feel bad. That wasn't God. If God's trying to warn me about someone and he's given me plenty of visions and dreams on this old friend, and none of them have been good. None of them have depicted her in a good light. Warnings, all that kind of stuff. So, and this is a friend who, when I would tell stuff to, like things I was trying to do miraculously, right after I would tell her, then things would fall through. Nothing ever went as planned. See, when somebody from your past come back and you start seeing all the signs you missed during the friendship, that's God trying to warn you. I truly believe that's God trying to warn you. I'm not trying to hold her past against her, because she was a wonderful person. She was a generous person. She wasn't mean-spirited. She wasn't, a mean person. Just like people think the devil gonna come in red horns, the devil ain't gonna think, the devil ain't who you think he is. Your devil be your best friend. The person who you was rooting for. That's who the devil be using. The devil will use anybody close to you. The devil will send people who were close to you to distract you. Not no random Joe. The devil ain't gonna use a random person to distract you. He gonna use the person who was closest to you at one point. That girl was close to me at one point. We were inseparable. We hung out every day. We texted every day, all day. We would stay on the phone all night, to the point where, I would always fall asleep on her. Because that's just who I am. I'm just a sleepyhead. But the devil ain't gonna use no random person. The devil ain't coming as, no scary person. He coming as the handsome person. He's coming as the nicest person you ever met in your life. He's coming as your best friend. He's coming as your boyfriend, your girlfriend, to distract you. He ain't coming as no like them demons you see in movies. That ain't how the devil coming. He got to be smarter than that. Hello. He was right up next to God. He knows God better than some of us know God. Let's be real. God knows what to do with us, and so does the devil. That's what people don't be understanding. And if you don't use your discernment, you're going to fall for the trap. I'm not trying to fall for that trap no more. I fell for the trap before. And sometimes that person ain't gonna, sometimes that person ain't gonna do you wrong. You know how the devil will use them? To waste your time, to distract you off your goals. Instead of making a vision board, you going out and drinking and spending money. Instead of putting that money in your savings account, you going out with them to the club. All of a sudden, it's 2022 and you ain't reaching none of your goals you set in 2021 or none of that. In 5 years, you looking like, wait a minute, I ain't achieved nothing that I said I wanted to achieve. They waste your time. The devil sends distractions like that. The devil's children comes in forms like that. Not as the worst person in the world. Not a school bully type stuff. He comes as people who will waste your time and get you off of your goals. Because what? The devil don't want you to realize your purpose. And I realized that's what I want. And so now, all of a sudden, when I realize what I want for my life, a person of my past show up. When I was crying lonely in my bed, who was there? Why ain't no person from my past show up then when I really wanted somebody? Now all of a sudden they got time. And people of your past also come around when they think you doing worse than them. People love to see you struggle. Some of your best friends love to see you struggle. I hope y'all know that. Some of y'all's best friends love to see you struggle. Because one thing with this girl is, and it took for another person to point this out to me, how they broke it down. As long as things were going good in her life, I was expendable. As long as things were going good in her life and things weren't going good in mine, she couldn't be bothered. But now she's run into roadblocks. Here Taylor is. Here Taylor is. Now she's facing another roadblock. Here goes Taylor. I just told God, I'm tired of focusing on other people. I want to focus on me. I miss me. I miss myself. I want to pour into myself. Now all of a sudden, because I'm loyal to a default, and the devil knows that. The devil knows that if anybody needs me as a shoulder to cry on, as an ear to listen to them, I'll be that. But nobody's ever that for me. So when I decided I don't care, I'm going to be that for myself, all of a sudden, somebody from my past shows up at my door. Not even my door, the last place they found me. See, the people of your past ain't coming to, they don't know the new you. So they don't know where to look for the new you. They know where to look for the old you, though. And that's the door they come knocking on. That's how I know. That's how I know. Because, see, that's why you have to keep stuff off Facebook. I got a new car. She don't know to look for me in this car. Well, she knows now. Because, I mean, I showed her. She ended up seeing it. But she probably passed my mama's house looking for my red car. I used to have a red car. Thinking that I wasn't there. Little did she know I was there the whole time. She just didn't recognize me. Ain't that a blessing? That's why I don't put everything on Facebook or social media. Because when you keep your business off of social media, people don't know where to find the new you. The best version of yourself. She don't know where to find me. Well, she knows now. Because we caught up. She don't know now. She still don't know me because what? I kept my business on a hush. All she knows is that I have a new apartment and a new car. She has no idea the things that I'm trying to do with my life. And I want it to stay that way. Because you don't make moves and tell everybody. You make moves and stay in silence. That's how God gets glory out of your life. Not when everybody and their mama knows it. He gets glory out of your life when out of nowhere. How does she do that? When people don't think you have, they treat you different. That's how you are able to discern certain things. When people don't think you are good enough, or when people don't think you have things up to their standards, they treat you different than if they know you have it. They stay around you because they can't use you for what you have. That's the kind of people the devil sends. not some big bad bully. He sends the snakes. He sends the sneaky people who try to sneak back in your life. But God, I can't even imagine if Jesus wasn't on my side. I would have fell for it. If I didn't have anything to live for anymore, I would have fell for it. Just out of desperation of wanting to feel wanted again. Just like with my, the story of the dude who hit me up on Instagram. If I was vulnerable and that desperate for a companion, all the wolf tickets he was selling, I would have bought them, would have ate them up. But see, you have to be able to spiritually discern things. When your spirit is telling you something about somebody, listen to that. That is not wrong. That's God. That is God. But yeah, I'm growing. I'm changing. I have to be proud of that. The attack's not going to stop. But those attacks are coming to teach you how much you have grown. That attack today from the enemy taught me how much I have really grown. That person coming back from my past taught me how much I've really grown. Because when I said everything that I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Not so much the moves I'm making, because no. Nobody's going to know that. Not even my mom, not even my family. You know, because some things you just have to keep to yourself. You have to let God do the work so God can get glory out of your life, you know. But when I was telling her how I had been doing since moving back from California, because I talked to her, I went to go visit her when I got back from California, you know, just to see how she was doing. And the vibe was off then because she was on the up. She didn't need me. So, like I said, when people don't think they need you, they treat you different. When people don't think you got what they got, they treat you different. I was in my red car still. I was still living at home with my mama. Different attitude towards me. But when I was telling her the things that I've accomplished since being here, I was like, wow, I have grown a lot. And even, you know, my 14-year-old niece, she said, I mean, look at what all you've done. You got a closer relationship with God. You got closer to God. You got you a new car. You got you a new apartment. I was like, wow. And in that moment, that taught me something about myself, that I really am growing. I really am changing. And it was crazy to me. It was crazy to me to just hear that out loud. Dang, Taylor, you really have grown. I really have grown. Them attacks aren't there to get you riled up and upset. They're there to teach you a lesson. And they definitely taught me a lesson. That attack today taught me a lesson. Be grateful that God got you through it, because God got me through that attack. Today, the other day, and He'll always get me through it. My mind made up, and you have to make up your mind too. Live for God and watch how your life change. I love you, Jesus. Talk to you later. Bye.
I'm calling, maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it.